Yeah, hi. So good evening, folks. Today we are here to check about Terraform on Azure. It's basically fundamental session, so which will includes all the basic introduction to Terraform. What exactly Terraform? I'll just pull up my presentation here. Yes. So yeah, here we go. So basically, first thing first, if you haven't heard about Azure Reskill and first time you're hearing about Azure Developer Community, this is the link. You can go ahead and sign up for the future events. So today we'll talk about the Terraform Manager. So what exactly Terraform and what is the Terraform workflow and installation? It's a basic straight away installation. We'll check an installation and we'll just give those little hands on them Azure. So these are the four things we are going to cover today. So for this to follow along, you need to have one Azure account. Along with that, you need to have either Windows or Linux machine. If you have admin privileges, as you need to run our basic commands and all. So, yeah, that's all. If you have these two things ready, you can definitely try along with. So, next should be, yeah. So, Terraform, like, it's a basic definition which is given by HashiCorp. It's the owner of this Terraform. So Terraform is basically infrastructure as a tool which will define both whether you are talking about cloud or on-prem, any kind of environment. If you want to provision this environment, then you can use Terraform. Like in a traditional way, how you do create resources. And for example, I'm using AWS Cloud to create one EC2 instance. So what I can do, like I just go log into my console, and then from the console, I'll just select my launch instances and create, and there I'll specify what are the specifications, which type of operating system I want, what is the storage, what type of instance it is, and what are the in security groups, what ports I need to allow. Like it will be a lot of procedures and all. It involves with lots and lots of clicks. Okay, so each and every click is important. Like if you miss one, not you cannot be able to provision the resource which you wanted to. So that is one thing. It involves lots and lots of manual stuff, and if you are doing the same thing multiple times, yes, there might be chance you may miss sometime or somewhere. So that is the reason to solve this problem, Terraform came into picture. So using Terraform basically use HCL language as a backend. So using that, you can easily define your environment. Like I want this particular instance of this particular size with respect to Azure. If you are talking about like I need this, I need to create one resource group of my this particular name, and these are the things I wanted to get into it. So like that, you can easily specify and you can just create the resources and all. So basically, you can provision entire infrastructure using Terraform, whether it any platform, any service. Yes, Terraform will be there to support you. So this is intro about Terraform. So we'll just check with the workflow of the Terraform, right? Like it may when we talk about dealing about infrastructure level, it may appear like very difficult to manage and handle all the things, but actually it is not. With respect to Terraform, you can manage entire infra with using these four commands: init, plan, apply, and destroy. So as the name implies, init is the first step or initialization of our resources. For example, I'm using Azure VM, so it need some so Azure as a service provider. when I initially this, so what will happen? It will gather all the plugins which are related to Azure. So it will basically install all the plugins related to Azure. So then what I can do, I can prepare a plan telling that I need one VM, or I need one cluster setup, I need one Azure VNet of this kind, this particular region. So I can name it and I can get it. So all these things can be done. Once we done that, using plan, what I can do, I can make a copy of entire infrastructure. It's basically kind of backup, I can say. So everything you can lined up, and you can store it in a place by saying one plan one, or dev or production, whatever you name it. So using this Terraform plan, you can save this plan. And third thing should be apply. When you say apply, whatever the prototype you have built, or whatever the template till now we have created, it will get applied, and it will actually provision that service. Like if you are about to create one particular service, and you have made a, Terraform file, basically Terraform, all the configuration files will be in .tf format. So in the Terraform file, what you have mentioned, so it will gather all the resources, and it will just create, by making use of this, all the configuration which you provided, it will create the resources in the apply phase. So when comes the final phase of destroy, so you're done with it, and later sometime, like you may feel like, okay, something I was missing. When you do or create these resources manually, and everything is linked to some other, right? So one, if you are talking about some VPC and all, it will include subnets, and then the network interfaces, and resource group is the major part in Azure. Like you need to create resource group. In this, will have all the resources like VM, public IP, private IP, VNets. All these things will be lined up. When one thing you miss it to delete something, it may cause some issue. But when we use Terraform, it's not like that. If you give Terraform destroy command, whatever the resources got created, everything will get destroyed on the go. So it's as simple it is. And with the this thing, it came into a laminate very shorter time, and it works in such a easier way to manage and use all our infra and all. So that is about the workflow. So yeah, nothing should be where we have covered. So we'll just check. Okay, sorry. Um, my screen share got stopped. Okay. So yeah. This is it. Then comes the so if you want to install Terraform and following, you need to first download the Terraform. It's just a link. So if you go here, and you can easily get it. So just give me a moment. So yeah, so this is the link to install Azure CLI. First, that is the thing. If you are using Windows, you can just click in here and you can download it. Whereas if you are using any other operating system, which of yours, you can use it, whether it is Mac or Divine or Fedora, whatever it is. So based on operating system, we can get it. And next thing should be so this is CLI, and then Terraform. Terraform also, you can select the operating system and you can download it. So yeah, this enough. The theory will just straight away go into the demo, and we'll see how it works. All right. So for that, I have just before this, I'm just I have created a couple of files. I'll be going through what are the files that are available and all. So before this, I'll just open VS Code where all my files are there to just check it. So the next thing should be, I'll just double check on Azure and Terraform. So to check whether Azure CLI installed or not, I'm just giving the command AG version. So which will give me the installed Azure installed or not. If it is not installed, it will throw me error. Similar to this, I'll give the command Terraform version. So if it is installed, I'll get this yes. So Terraform installed and it is giving the version. So it is telling me to update. I'll update it later. So yeah, so this is the setting up. So first phase. So we have done with it. So for the quicker purpose, like I have all the configuration related files, Terraform files here. I'll be going through these files and I'll be explaining what is there in each and every file. So first will be main.tf file. So where we'll have the entire heart of the file actually. So here what it is the basic pattern. Okay, in resource section we'll provide what is the thing. So before that we'll just check the providers. Providers is basically which provider you are using. Currently I'm using is Azure. So with respect to Azure we have this Azure RM as a provider. So that is the first thing, which is telling that I wanted to create resources on Azure. By any chance, if you are using AWS, here you will get AWS. So this is the first thing. Then we'll go to the main.tf. So here we can, similar to that, we can create the resources here, like what resources we want. So this is just telling that I want a resource, which name and random. It is one category to pick, one pet name randomly, and I'm just using this. I'm just creating the resource group. So similarly, yeah, this will pick one pet name and as a prefix to my resource group. Here, actually, I'm creating one resource group. So similarly, when you by the way, like all this configuration is to just create one VM and in a Terraform way instead of going into console or any CLI. So we are coding it. That is, we are calling it infrastructure as a code. With this code, we'll be having one application. Sorry, VM ready. So basically, so for that VM to access, we need to have one virtual network. So that we are creating here, and with that particular network, we are creating subnet here. So it is very simple and straight away. Like whenever you go to it, go through the code, you'll understand it. So don't worry about like if you're missing something. All the code I'll update to one GitHub repo, and I'll be sharing this link soon in comments. So for now, just try to understand like what is there in every module, and also to for better understanding, you can also create through GUI. You can create one VM and you can check the steps. During time constraint, I'm just going with the flow of explaining the code. But for the better understanding, I would definitely suggest first create one VM through Azure portal on a GUI way. Then you can very bit very much relate to what is happening here. So that is one thing. And once we had the VNet ready, and then next thing should be I need one subnet in that range. So next thing should be for my VM to expose to outside. I need to have one public IP to get access. So that I'm doing, and then I'm creating one security group. So basically, it's a Linux instance. So which need port 2020 to be opened. To connect with this. So that way I'm just opening this port 2020 here. So that is the security role I'm defining here. Next thing should be network interface card. So to establish connection and all, I'm just creating an NIC. And final thing, I just have the network interface and I have security group. I'm just attaching here both here. So that security group attaching and these are the things. And then in storage account, like what storage I need for that my VM, and what is my VM name. And so as I mentioned, I'm taking one Linux virtual machine, and I gave my VM as a name. So and for disk also I have given my OS disk. So and by default any Azure Azure user will be the default username. So that I'm providing, and I'm just creating SSH public key here. So this is briefly about this contents which we need, to provision one VM through Terraform. It might looks more when when you're linking it with respect to one particular VM. If you want to launch 100 instances, also the procedure is same. So it is as simple as that. Like in simple English terms, like we are giving inputs on the thing. So that is one thing. So we have covered provide as main, and important thing should be variables. So for like for my main.tf to run. So I mean the resource to be created, where know in which region I need to create my resources. What is the default reason? So those kind of inputs or the variables we are passing in variables are tf. And then here I'm just giving the resource group name prefix from the random we put, no, so it will give one random pet name as a prefix to my resource group. So this is what. And finally outputs. Output is like now I have created resources using this, and I just wanted to ensure that like whatever I expected is coming or not. So it might be the issue, right? Like in my mission, or in my particular Azure account, I may have hundreds of resources, and I have made some operation and to check whether it is Terraform script is working fine or not. That time it will be very difficult to go ahead and check each and everything by my own. So that time what I can do, like I can give this what major chunks on my code in output variable, just to make sure like no resource group is the major thing with respect to Azure that we know. So if I want like what resource group it is created, if I know, then I can directly navigate to that particular resource group, and simply I can make use of it. So that is the thing actually. So for that, to make sure that we can do this thing in here, uh, uh, in output the output.tf file. So this is the thing. So now we have done with all the configuration, like we have mentioned event provider, and then we have talked about main outputs variables and all. So yeah, we are good to go. Now, like we mentioned, the Terraform workflow is just in 4 steps. So that will see in line. So I am here. I have everything, all the code and here. So like we discussed. So first thing should be Terraform init. So how it will go, we'll just check. So I just having here. So now I have only 4 files here. So I'm just giving Terraform init command. Like you mentioned, it has to install all the related plugins and everything, all the stuff it need to get. We'll just check whether it is getting or not. Okay. Yeah, now it is installing Azure related resources, which is having version 2.9. It may take some time, like based on your internet speed and all. So it may take 1 minute, 2 minutes, couple of minutes. So yeah, so first thing is it is just finding based on the providers, in providers what you what are the details you mentioned that you'll try to get it. See, if you observe here, so it is with dot terraform file, it is just trying to create something. So in that I have providers. So in that providers I have registered Terraform data. So it is HashiCorp. So if you see here, Azure related resource and then a random which we talked about, and whatever we have specified in or providers, right? So we have, in providers I requested I need Azure complete package, and then I want random and I want TLS. So same thing came up here. You can see, right? So Azure RM random TLS. So like this, it will create all the dependencies. Then it also created terraform.log file. So okay, so now we got a message telling that Terraform has been successfully initialized. So whatever you defined, I just collected the libraries and I made this environment ready. It is telling that. So now next step should be, okay, fine. You have made the environment setup ready. Then I have the configuration files with me to provision the infra. Then my next step should be Terraform plan. I need to have a plan. So what plan or like further launching VMs, and if everything is proper, it will just show me a template kind of thing. And also it will, if you just check here, it is just creating state file which will contain information like in a templatic way. It's like this resource are creating, this resource are creating. It will give you the list. So the same thing we can check here as well. Just wait for a moment. So it will be done. So when we say plan or whatever, based on the configuration which you have mentioned, so it will just create one plan and it will give you here. So if you just go ahead with the plan, so it is telling 12 resources to be added, right? This is the plan, right? 12 to add, 0 change, 0 to destroy. So in this, if you go deeper into it, what else it is just creating TLS private key. It will just give you a template before proceeding with that. What it will do, it will just I show you like what I'm going to create. So whatever you mention in your file, starting from resource group to storage account to subnets, virtual VNets, and then random resource group name. So everything it just created, right? So now we have the plan ready. Our thoughts should be Terraform apply. So I have my template ready. What needs to be created, everything I have an idea. So now what I'm doing, I'm just going ahead and uh, giving the green signal, telling that yeah, if you are sure that whatever I have defined is you brought up, then why not just create the resource. So that we are telling using Terraform apply command. So when you say Terraform apply, so whatever the list which is given in a template way, it will just create actual that resources actually, and it will hand over to you. So that way it will work. So it will take couple of minutes. So here you need to give a confirmation. So these are the things to be getting created. Are you okay with it? Yes, I'm okay with this. So then you can check here, right? So the progress. So it is just creating the resource first. It is one by one, whatever it is defined. No, yeah, it is just trying to create. So also what we can do is like we can just go ahead and log in with Azure portal, and there also you can check the same. I will just same so yes. So I'll just go to resource groups. So I have the 1, 2, 3, 4 resource groups as of now. So we'll just check whether it is going to create some new because it has to create as we instructed Terraform that I need one resource group, and then in that VNet, subnets, and one public IP, one Linux VM. So these are the instructions we have passed. So we'll wait and check what it is going to create. We just check here. So it is started. One new resource group got added here. So Archie relaxed resource group relaxed Bream. So that Bream is the name of the pet which we no random pet. So instead of giving one particular name, what we have provided is like we have provided VM no random pet name, so it is getting created. So and finally, like we talked about, these are the outputs, right? I don't know which VM it got created. I may have 100 of VMs, but if I have this idea about what public IV my VM is taking, and if you are not sure about whether the same resource group it is created, then it give name here. Why? Because I have in my no output.tf, I have clearly mentioned, right? I need resource group name, I need public IP address, and there is private key. As it is secured one, it is not showing outside as it is a sensitive. Here I mentioned sensitive as to. If I want specify this, it will just provide that key also there. As I mentioned sensitive true, it is telling that it is not, it is sensitive, you can't access it. But the other two, I have the public IP and resource group name. So I have the resource group name relaxed brain. So I'll just go ahead and I'll open this. So here this is my resource. And then if you just scroll down and check here, so these are the resources which we asked for. So it should be my NIC, my no storage account, network security group, disk, public IP, and here also you can double check what is the public IP here. So it is 20.85.240.184. 20 dot same thing, right? 20.80.240. So that how it works. So yeah, now I wanted to I have a like environment in a different way, or I just don't want this. So what I can do is like usually like I can if I don't want this particular resource, and if I want to clear these resources one by one, it may take a lot of time, right? But I don't want that. I not everything to be managed by Terraform. That time I can, what I can do, I can just give Terraform destroy. So till now what we have created, like 12 resource got added. So when my Terraform works fine, all 12 resource which added, it needs to be deleted. So that is the thing, right? Like whatever we provision, we need to clear all without missing anything. Because if I now forgot to remove one storage and account or one particular IP it may cause some sort of trouble. So to avoid that, what I'm doing, I'll just destroying everything with single command terraform destroy. So here you can see, right, it is telling me that now the plan is like 0 to add, 0 to change, 12 to destroy. Yes, that I want that. I have created 12 resources. I want everything to be deleted. So that time I can do Terraform destroyed it. So now it will destroy resources one by one. So after a couple of minutes, if you just refresh and check your through your, if you log into portal and check whatever is created here, it will get deleted automatically. So this is the flow. No, this is the feasibility that Terraform is, giving you in terms of infrastructure and all. So yeah, it is definitely, a very best tool in the market, and anybody who wanted to uh, automate their infra and all. It's just basic. It's just the beginning. There are lots and lots of things like when you change few things, and if you want to, then you can refresh the state and you can get the updated things like that. Lot of things are there. You can go ahead and check it. And Terraform documentation itself, like very self-explanatory, similar to Azure documentation. So and they both have some document will get everything in Microsoft as well. So based on the needs, you go ahead and experiment it. It will worth time. That's all I can say. So that's it from my end. If anybody having any questions, then I would be happy to take up. Anybody having any questions? I'll stop sharing screen. Anybody having any questions, we'll just take up. I'll just wait a couple of minutes. If anybody is not having any questions. I think there are no questions. So yeah, that's it. And I'll be posting this PPT link and everything. I'll just create one GitHub repo and I'll post it here. It may help if you want to experiment it. Thanks everyone for watching it, and yeah, thanks. That's it.